Ice cream lovers, welcome to this session of Scoop School. We're broadcasting to you from the crossroads of the West. St. Louis, Missouri, a little bit west of St. Louis in our new facility. I think we can still call it new. 4,500 square feet of ice cream goodness. Offices, manufacturing, classrooms, store. You really should pay us a visit, scoopschool.com. Do want to thank our episode sponsor for this particular episode, which are our good friends just down the road here, Jimmy Stutz, Ryan Klass, and all the crew at Dippin' Flavors. Now, let me tell you a little about Dippin' Flavors. You've heard me talk about them before. Jimmy Stutz, he's a flavor chemist, super nice guy. But if you talk to him or Ryan, you get the same information. You get great quality information and products to flavor or top your ice cream products. They sell waffle cone mix, they sell all sorts of things. They sell candies, they sell, look, you name it, hot fudge, flavor, extracts, syrups, pastes, purees. It's all at dippinflavors.com. It's all down below here. And the nice thing is that all of the prices that are online are landed at your store. You don't have to worry about freight because they've basically factored that in. Good for cost control. Dippinflavors.com. The link is down below. And if you're talking to Jimmy or Ryan, you tell them that we said hello. Okay, this is a good question. Again, a lot of us who have been in the business a long time sometimes think these questions and some of these topics that we cover are pretty rudimentary. But they are great questions for someone that's just wanting to get into the business or just new to the business, looking at fine-tuning their operations. Can I leave ice cream mix in my soft serve machine overnight? How long can it be kept in there for? We've spoken a little bit about how often you clean the machine, but we often get questions about, well, if I've got this in a cart or at a farmer's market, it's plugged in, my mix is in the top, how long can that be kept in for? And it's a great question. All of the gravity-fed units, and this is a Taylor gravity-fed soft serve machine. Anytime you see the lids on the top here, mean that that's a gravity-fed machine. You're pouring mix into the machine. This is all refrigerated, so once your unit is up and running, you may have a refrigeration switch just for the hopper by itself. So one refrigeration unit handles the cooling of the hopper. But most machines, once the unit is on, like this one is, the hopper is automatically refrigerated. And there's a thermostat in there. If it gets over, let's say 38 or 40 degrees, the compressor kicks back on, brings it back down. So it's safe in there. It's like being in your refrigerator. But what do you do at the end of the day? And that can depend on the type of machine that you have. This Taylor unit, well, I should say all units, will have some form of what we call a flow valve that sits in the hole at the back of the hopper to regulate how much of soft serve mix flows through that hole and down into the barrel. On this particular unit or valve, that's what that hole looks like. So when we talk about the process of not putting any pulp or puree or anything with seeds in it that may block this hole, that's really important. But at the end of the day, you may have to manipulate this valve depending on what type of machine you have or not. So let me tell you what happens at the end of the day. On this particular unit, you will go from the freeze mode, which has a little Frosty the Snowflake symbol on it, to your defrost or standby mode. So you simply just press this button here, and it basically turns the barrel that used to be or was freezing during the day to a refrigerator. So what happens then when you've got a barrel full of, let's say, soft serve mix, 8% fat, that's got maybe 40% overrun in it? Well, what happens when that starts to melt? Well, what ends up happening is the cavity that you've got in there to necessitate the overrun now becomes open and available, and you'll have mix there that's now running from the hopper down into the barrel and filling the barrel. So on some soft serve machines like this one here, where this valve is sitting in the hole, you actually take the cap off, you flip it over, and put the cap back on. So now we don't have any flow valve or any holes in our valve. We've basically sealed the hopper, so no further mix is dropping back in. So what that means is that when the mix actually melts overnight and refrigerates, you're going to have, let's say, 40% of that barrel that's vacant. It's air. There's some space in there. And it stays in there because when you get there in the morning, you pull the cap back off, you turn the valve back over, put this cap back on, the hole now is at play, and you've got mix flowing in. But once you actually press on and freeze, again, when the mix starts to freeze in there, they've got a cavity there or a space to expand and you have overrun. Some soft serve machines don't run like that. Some soft serve machines basically keep the valve in there, and when it refrigerates at the in the night mode, the barrel will just basically fill up with liquid mix. So if that's the case on your particular machine, then when you get there in the morning and your machine is basically asleep, you're going to have to take some of that mix out to create a cavity or a hole for the mix that's in there to expand. And a lot of manufacturers will say it's about a 16 or 20 ounce cup's worth. So when you get in the morning and your barrel is full of liquid mix, you'll pull that handle down, you'll fill up a 16, maybe 20 ounce cup, pour it straight back in the top, or handle that as per manufacturer's instructions, and then you're ready to go again. Some of these units go to sleep by themselves, some of them need to be manually put to sleep. But the vast majority of all soft serve machines have what's called a night mode, or a storage mode, or a standby mode that basically is keeping the hopper and the barrel at a refrigerated temperature, and you'll have to follow those manufacturer's instructions as to whether you need to do anything with that flow valve or not. Some soft serve machines have an adjustable flow valve, so you actually just kind of close it up like that. Bob's your uncle. I hope that answers your question. Again, for those of us who are kind of in the business and doing this every single day, we do it without even thinking. But for those who are new in the business, or perhaps do have premium ice cream and want to get in a soft serve, that night mode is extremely important. You don't have to clean it out every day. It maintains a good, safe temperature in your soft serve machine, and then you can basically minimize waste, turn it back on the morning, happy as Larry, everyone's ready to go. Thank you again to our episode sponsor, Jimmy and the boys down there at Dippin' Flavors. I shouldn't say the boys, there are girls down there as well. And look, if you have any questions about the ice cream business, about equipment, about mix, about procedure, about theory, about prac, about anything, then drop us a line down below here in the comments, ask a question, we'll try and get to it. Look, we'd love to see you in class one day. Remember, we've got a single day, full day training coming up, live stream 1st of April. Put that down in your calendar, keep on scooping. We'll see you in the next video.